This is story 166 as we join in reading the Bible in 365 stories. We find ourselves continuing to accompany Elijah in the extraordinary season he's living. He's been tremendously successful in his work. That's story 162 and 163. It really is spectacular. It's a story that exhibited the presence, the power, the justice, and the proof of God in action that Elijah was asking for. And well, that everyone else, like you and I, when we want there to be a Lord, could you just call fire down from heaven and prove to everyone that you're here? Oh, it was a successful moment like that actually happened. Well, the height of that success for Elijah earned him a sudden plummet to despair, as Jezebel promised that his life would be vaporized within 24 hours. And so Elijah fled into the wilderness, practically feeling the hot breath of Jezebel's army on his neck. In what direction did he run? He ran for the mountain of the Lord. He ran for that mountain where his ancestor Moses, that great leader who was able to lead the people of God from oppression into freedom, he ran for that mountain, the mountain where God meets leaders face to face. Elijah had finally made it there, got a little help along the way. When he got to that mountain, he tucked himself into a cave. Have you ever had that feeling like you wanted to hide under a rock, disappear into a hole in the ground, pull the blankets up over your head and pretend that neither the world nor your problems exist? I think it was that type of crawling into the cave that Elijah did here. He is exhausted. He's burned out to the core. And it is in that exhaustion, that burnout, that anger, that depression, that the Lord meets him. Meets him with a question. Elijah, what are you doing here? It's a question that invites Elijah to pour out his heart, to pour out what's inside of him, and he does. He pours out his fear, his bitterness, his anger, his loneliness. And what does the Lord do with that? Invites Elijah to know him more clearly, to actually be in God's presence. The Lord invites Elijah to go and stand on the mountain, and he says, I'm going to pass by. Now, Elijah is a man who has been in the presence of the Lord before. Why, his greatest moment of success, he'd seen the presence of the Lord in fire. And in profound natural things like this wind and earthquake, he had seen the Lord that way. Outside of this cave, that's what happens. A violent wind that shatters rock goes by, and then an earthquake, and then a fire. It isn't in any of those that the Lord speaks. The Lord speaks to Elijah in a whole new way, and that is with the sound of a fine silence, what we translate as a gentle whisper. Or then again, the Lord invites Elijah to pour out his heart. Is the Lord meeting you in a new way? In this time of disruption, where perhaps the way you have encountered God, or there are challenges that are greater than you think you can handle sitting in front of you, the Lord is meeting you. It is profound to know how the Lord handles our weakness and our fear, our loneliness, our despair. It's with gentleness. It's with profound gentleness and drawing near. You'll see Elijah is not excused from his task. He's not invited to, oh, just never mind, don't follow the call that I have for you. No, he is further equipped for the work in front of him. He is given clear instructions on exactly what to do next. But would you see how the Lord handles our fear and loneliness, our weakness, with gentleness. Friends, the Lord is with us. May you sense and know that tenderness. God is with you.